So, records outsold CDs last year. Nobody ever would have predicted that could have happened. We never would have thought that we would be getting rides from people in cars, strangers in cars, or staying in strangers' houses. Right, the whole thing is trust. As long as you can have that trust, then it can work out. And so that's why there's so much accountability online with Uber reviews and just even Yelp reviews in general. Like, it's so important to get positive reviews. The whole thing about taxis, the reason we trust taxis is because there's such a long process to become a taxi driver. If you've invested hundreds of hours of time and money into becoming a taxi driver, then you're not going to risk that by stealing somebody's money or being a criminal against them, because then you lost all of that time and effort that you put into something. And so even creating those barriers, if those barriers aren't related to actually like driving a taxi, they filter out people and they give trust to us. And that's actually one of the main importance of branding itself, is that it gives responsibility to the company and it gives us our trust. It's not necessarily about having a product that's terrific. It's actually more important not to have products that are terrible. Like, that's really what we don't want, is to have terrible products. It's great if the food is good, but it's really bad if you get food poisoning. And mostly we'll be happy if we can avoid food poisoning. We said, okay, retail stores are going to go away, and then these articles pop up that say they're coming back. We used to get excited when people knocked on our door, and now if somebody knocks on our door, we freak out because texting is so prominent. And calling somebody on the phone, like in the early stages of dating, if you call somebody on the phone, they freak out. And it's just a part of like recognizing where we are as a society and how you operate in it and being in touch with that. Like I don't even know how to check my voice messages in my phone. We had a cultural change in just our view of straws. Like, that is fascinating. And I don't know how that happened, but all of a sudden everybody became on board with the ideas that plastic straws are really bad. I actually have a theory that one day seeing people doing this on their phones is going to be socially shamed. Like, I'm just putting it out there that it's a possibility that you're going to be socially shamed for doing this motion. And it could be because of the app. It could be that the app that makes you do this becomes out of popularity, and they know that this motion is associated with that app, and that'll make you feel bad for doing it in public. There are no rules. Actually, there are rules. You have to be in touch with what the psychological cultural viewpoint is on things. And so here's Hulu. They put this big emoji for America's Funniest Home Videos, and it's just strange. Have you guys experienced that recently? It happened on my Facebook feed yesterday. There's a surfboard company, and they were like, "Yo, bro, check out the waves." And I couldn't tell if they were joking at first. It's like, what is going on? Turns out lit is no longer considered cool. And the first thing when I saw this on Twitter, I thought, like, if a company is telling you it's not cool, it was not cool way before that. By the time it reaches the level of the company, it's already lost its coolness. And while I don't agree with everything she said, but I like the notion of what she's saying here. She says who? It's the culture and the people that create the lingo that will let you know when it's cool or not. But I'll note that in her response, she did not use the word lit. She used litty, which I've come to know is actually cool still. So here's a viewpoint that I think is useful. People expect advertising to add to culture. And so think of people's cultural viewpoints on things as if they're on a swing. And your advertisement, your media, the information you're putting out there is meant to push the swing. And if you're successful, then you observe the swing and you see how it's swinging. And then you find the right time and you say, okay, I'm going to give it a push. And if you fail, that's when you push the swing at the wrong time. It's still coming back too hard. It's going the wrong way. So you need to think about how you can optimize the timing and the content to maximally impact people.